Hi everyone, Miss Tui here. How many patterns or symbols have you noticed since you started your school day? Sometimes symbols and patterns aren't noticed at all, but they are all around. For today's lesson, you will need an Ozobot fully charged and calibrated, color code markers, a pencil, both pages of your Patterns and Waves Part 1 activity sheets, and a color code chart. In today's lesson, you will identify symbols, color codes, and patterns, and then create your own pattern for Ozobot to follow. As a quick review, symbols are marks, signs, characters, or words that represent something else. For example, the word apple is a symbol for the actual object of an apple. The first thing you'll do today is identify color codes from the symbols on your activity sheet. Look at page 1 of your Patterns and Waves Part 1 activity sheet. The top of the page has symbols, a space for the name of the code, boxes for the color code, and a line titled Quantity. Take a look at the first line in the left column. It has a symbol with 4 arrows. Now look at the color code chart. You can look at a printed copy, or you can click on the color code chart in the resources section of Ozobot Classroom. I'm looking for the color code that has the symbol with 4 arrows. What color code does this symbol represent? Correct. The 4 arrows represent the turbo color code. I'll write turbo on the line labeled code on my activity sheet. Can you write turbo on the line next to the 4 arrows at the top of your activity sheet? Ozobots have a color sensor on the bottom of the bot that recognizes red, blue, black, and green. When those colors are organized into patterns, Ozobot reads the patterns as instructions to do certain things. When you give Ozobot instructions using color codes, that is called programming. Take a look at the turbo color code on the color code chart. What is the color pattern? It is blue, green, blue. You'll also notice below the blocks some letters that are also symbols. B stands for blue and G stands for green. I'll fill in the color code blue, green, blue in the color code boxes. Can you fill in the color code for turbo on your activity sheet? The patterns at the bottom of the page are made up of symbols from the color code chart. Count all the 4 arrow turbo symbols in the pattern at the bottom of the page and write the total on the line that says quantity. I found 5 turbo symbols, 3 along the top and 2 along the bottom. I'll write the total number of turbo symbols on the line that says quantity. Can you write 5 on the quantity line next to the turbo code? Next, you will complete the remaining color code names, color codes, and symbol quantities. Can you complete the top section of page 1 by filling in the color code names, color codes, and symbol quantities? Great work finding all those symbols. Now is your opportunity to be a robot programmer. On the free draw page of your activity sheets or on a blank piece of paper, use a pencil to sketch a track for your Ozobot that contains at least 5 color codes. Be sure to use at least 1 speed code, 1 line switch code, and 1 direction at intersection code. Make a pattern with your track or your color codes or both. When you have spaces for your codes and are satisfied with your track, use your color code markers to fill in the color codes. Then use the black marker to fill in lines between the color codes. Can you sketch a track pattern for Ozobot to follow, then fill in the color codes and black lines? When your track is ready, place Ozobot on start and watch your programming in action. Excellent work on this activity. Time to check your work. Have you filled in the name of each color code associated with the symbols at the top of your activity sheet? Have you colored in color codes associated with each symbol? Have you located and counted each symbol in the pattern and written the quantity associated with each symbol? Did you create a track using 5 or more color codes? Did you make a pattern using the color codes or track itself? If you'd like to do more, make a pattern using more than one piece of paper or butcher paper to make a larger pattern with your track. Find a pattern in nature and make an Ozobot track that mimics that pattern. Add color codes. Use color on the Ozobot line in a pattern and observe the LEDs as your bot travels along the line. Come back again soon for our next lesson.